There's a lot of cricket left to be played, as the old cliche goes, but I guess the big question around the country today will be, a lot of cricket fans will be asking, right, here's an opposition team that came in after losing a test match to Bangladesh. Yes, they've come up against a pretty pedigreed Indian attack. So is the reality that this Indian attack needs favorable conditions to be effective? Is that the reason why as soon as you've got what are not great spin bowling conditions, the opposition's piled on the runs?
But you expect that on day one of a pitch, and what you saw in Bangladesh were absolute minefields. They just turned square on day one, and that's not a good test match pitch. If India was playing Bangladesh on that, Bangladesh wouldn't have got more than 100. I think when you play on day one of a pitch like this, your fast bowlers need to come into play, and that's why I keep harping, and I've been saying that play on good pitches in India so that you learn how to play well overseas. You know, we played South Africa here a couple of months ago, 4 tests on minefields, test matches finishing in 3 days. It doesn't help anyone. You know, if India plays those 5 test matches on these good pitches, and Anil Kumble gets Umesh Yadav, Mohammad Shami, Ishant Sharma to pick 3 wickets on day one of a test match, India will become a better side, because you don't expect Ravichandran Ashwin or a Ravindra Jadeja on a flat pitch against a good batting surface to pick 5 wickets on day one. They might do it once, they might do it twice, but to do it consistently, it's impossible. So the Indian attack has to grow in these conditions as a overall attack, as a group, to pick 10 wickets on the first day if you lose the toss on a good pitch, and that's what they need to do when they go overseas. So I think the India should use this experience to judge themselves what sort of a bowling attack it is, and Anil Kumble has to work with the fast bowlers.
Just staying on this point a little bit, and can we just look at it from the point of view of the spinners? Does it at times lull you into a sense of, you know, you don't over believe in yourself, but do you, can you get lulled into a sense of, right, I can get on an Indian pitch and take wickets anytime I want, and suddenly there's a reality check of this kind where the opposition can actually play you when the wickets are not entirely in your favor?
Yeah, absolutely. And England has got a very good record in India. This is their 3rd trip in the last probably 10 years, and they've done exceptionally well as a batting unit. And when you get 500 on the first innings of a test, you put pressure on the opposition. There's still lots and lots of cricket left in this game, because in the subcontinent the pitches change very, very quickly. Yeah. Day 4, day 5, that's 180 overs. You'll see this pitch turning a lot more consistently than it's done yesterday and today. So it's a good way of playing test cricket in India, and I'm with Anil, and I'm with whoever has decided on the surfaces, because you know, it's no point just putting the ball up to spinners on pitches which turn square from day one, win test matches and go home. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help this young side, because it's a young side, a lot of young players who will take this team forward in the next 10 years. So I'm happy that they're going through this grind. It's a 5 test series, it's a long test series. You don't need to win test matches in 3 days. You need to win test matches in 5 days. You still won a test match. So it's going to change when India bats first. Pressure will be on England. But at the present moment, this test match, pressure is on England. Pressure is on India.
And just one other thought on this point itself. Harbhajan Singh made a very strong argument, or well, he made a point about how their wickets in the last few years in India have started to become extremely spin friendly, and if he were and Anil Kumble were bowling on these tracks, he would have picked up a lot more wickets. Is there something to that now, considering what we are seeing now? Suddenly we are seeing this contrast with Ashwin and Jadeja not being as successful in these conditions as they were against South Africa, against New Zealand?
I think it's too early to say, because it's just been one test match, one innings of a test match from Jadeja and Ashwin. But I completely agree that the pitches against South Africa, the pitches against Australia when they lost 4-0 were absolute minefields. I remember the pitch in Delhi on the 4th test, where the test match finished in 3 days. Means you can't produce test match pitches like this. So I think what's happening is good for Indian cricket. What's happening is good for overall building of the Indian team. I have personally experienced this bunch, because they played a test match against New Zealand in Calcutta a couple of months ago, and I got no request from anyone to prepare a turner. You know, I met Virat Kohli at the practice. He asked me how's the surface. I said there's a bit of grass on it, it's going to do a bit, and I kept watching him, because you know, as a former captain, as somebody who has been in these situations, I just watched him what he did before the test match, and I had first-hand experience. 3 days they were training at Eden Gardens. Not once did he turn up in front of the pitch. Not once did he give me a call and say, listen, I need a pitch which has got to turn square because we need to win this series 3-0. And I think these are good signs, and these are signs which will help this team get better.
Yeah.